All right, let's talk about one of the wildest astronomical finds in a long, long time. We're looking at a star that, according to everything we thought we knew, simply shouldn't exist. It's a discovery that's making us rethink the very first moments of our universe. So imagine you could reach back in time and pull out a fossil, not of a dinosaur, but from the dawn of the universe itself. Well, that's basically what astronomers just did. They found a star that's like a perfect chemical snapshot from just after the Big Bang. And here is the absolute kicker, the thing that has scientists totally stumped. Our best theories about how the first stars formed and died say this one should have burned out and gone supernova billions of years ago. The fact that it's still around, it flies in the face of everything we thought we knew. To really get why this star is such a mind-bending puzzle, we need a quick crash course in, well, the cosmic recipe, how the universe cooks up all the stuff we see around us. In astronomy, they keep things pretty simple. You've got hydrogen and helium, which were made in the Big Bang, and then there's everything else. Seriously, carbon, oxygen, iron, the whole shebang, astronomers just lump it all together and call them metals. So a star's metallicity is just how much of that everything else it's got in it. Right, so here's the crucial part. The universe gets more metallic over time. The very first stars, which we call population 3, were made of pure, pristine gas, just hydrogen and helium. They were huge, they lived fast, and they died young in these massive supernova explosions. And in those explosions, they forged the first heavy elements. The next generation, population 2, formed from that newly enriched gas. And then way, way down the line, you get stars like our sun, a population 1 star, which is just packed with metals from countless generations that came before. Now, you'd think a discovery this big, this game-changing, would come from some seasoned veteran scientist with decades of experience, right? Well, you'd be wrong. This story starts somewhere completely different. Yup, the hunt for one of the oldest objects in the universe wasn't started by a famous astronomer, but by a group of undergraduate students in an astrophysics class. It's just a perfect example of how science is changing, With all this public data available, anyone with a curious mind can make the next huge breakthrough. And they were super methodical about it. They combed through these massive public databases looking for stars that just might have that super low metal signature. They built a target list, and then, for spring break of all things, they flew down to a major observatory in Chile to check them out. And get this, on their very first night, the second star they pointed the telescope at was the one, Thinga. Professor Alex Gemini, who was leading the class, was just blown away. He said the plan was to spend maybe 10 minutes on each star on their list. But as soon as they saw the data from this one, everything stopped. They knew right away they had something special. You can just feel the excitement, right? And the pressure. One of the students, Natalie Orentia, said she just stared at the camera all night long, just praying the data was coming through correctly. They ended up ditching the whole plan and just stayed on that one star for 3 hours. So much for the course syllabus. So what did they find that was so incredible? Well, the details of this star, which goes by the catchy name SDSJ 0715-7334, are what make it so jaw-dropping. And as it turns out, this star isn't even a local. Let me just throw a number at you. This star has only 0.005% of the heavy elements that our sun has. That is an unbelievably tiny amount. It is by far the most chemically pure, most pristine star we have ever found, a true fossil from the early universe. So let's put that on a chart to really see what we're talking about. Our sun is way up here, loaded with metals. Then you have the previous record holder for the most metal-poor star, way down here. But this new discovery, it's more than twice as pure as the old record. It's not even in the same league. And just when you think it can't get any weirder, the team analyzed the star's orbit and realized it wasn't born in the Milky Way. By tracking its path through space, they figured out it was actually born in the Large Magellanic Cloud, a small galaxy that orbits our own. Billions of years ago, the Milky Way's powerful gravity just yoinked it. Professor G came up with the perfect name for it, an ancient emigrant. So, okay, this isn't just about breaking a record or finding a cool oddity. This discovery is giving us a look back in time that we've never had before, and it's forcing us to go back and check our assumptions about how the universe even works. This is where things get really fascinating. See, our theory said that for a small star like this to form way back then, you needed a good bit of carbon in the gas cloud. The carbon acts like a cosmic refrigerator, letting the cloud cool down enough to collapse into a star. But this star has basically no carbon at all. That means it had to have formed through some other, much rarer pathway that we're only just starting to figure out. And that is the key takeaway here. This star isn't just old, it's a pristine sample of the stuff that made up the universe when it was just a baby. Studying it is like getting to analyze a gas cloud from 13 billion years ago. It's a direct window into a time we thought was lost forever. You know, this quote from Juna Kohlmeier, the director of the project whose data they used, I think it says it all. This is an amazing story about this science, for sure, but it's also a story about curiosity and about how these students didn't just find a star, they found their place in the universe of scientific discovery. And it just leaves you with this incredible, goosebump-inducing question. This star was found using public data, right in our cosmic neighborhood. It makes you wonder, what other fossils from the beginning of time are still out there, just hiding in plain sight, waiting for the next curious mind to find them?